So Wasbir, China does it again after renaming 11 places in Arunachal Pradesh in the month of April this year. Now China has issued staple visas to players from Arunachal Pradesh, Wasbir.
Absolutely. China has once again done its old trick, which does not yield any results for Beijing, actually, giving stapled visas to Arunachalis, and we have on our show with our correspondent in Itanagar, Marina, we have got two gentlemen there. One is a Wushu player and one is a lawyer. And the message coming from Arunachal is that stop dreaming China. That is the strong message that is coming out from Arunachal Pradesh. China, stop dreaming. Stop dreaming about Arunachal being a part of China. The Arunachalis are saying we are Indians we are Indians in the past, we are Indians now, and we are going to be Indians for all times to come. That is the message, clear message that the Arunachalis are giving out to China. A short while ago, I spoke to 𝗵𝗀𝗃𝗓. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗓 is a former senior Wushu player of the Indian national team. She spoke to me very shortly. We will play that phone interview with 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗓. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗓 is one of the senior Wushu players in the Indian senior national Wushu team. She is from Arunachal Pradesh. I spoke to her a short while ago. We'll play that out for you. But the big story at this point is that Indian Wushu team has withdrawn from the World University Games to be held in Chengdu. The team was about to depart day before yesterday night, actually, from Delhi to Chengdu in China to participate in the World University Games. But since the Chinese had issued the 3 Arunachali players in the Indian contingent with staple visas, the government has decided not to send as a mark of symbolic protest. And this is a move by the Indian government which has been widely appreciated. In fact, we spoke to 𝗃𝗏𝗏, the MP from Arunachal Pradesh, a short while ago. He said that this is a good move by the Indian government. This has to be protested. And now we have two gentlemen who were with our correspondent also said that we have to protest. We have to tell the Chinese that we don't appreciate this kind of things, this kind of gestures. We really don't appreciate. And as we had with us Dr. Swaran Singh, one of India's topmost China experts, a professor at the Jawaharlal Nehru University, he said that only a few weeks ago the 2 national security advisors from India as well as China had a very detailed dialogue on various issues, and now the China has issued staple visas. The intent of the Chinese always put into question. That is something which is very, very upsetting. And now, as we know, the Chinese should not try to play politics and score brownie points, and that's what the Chinese have been doing, trying to score brownie points even in the realm of games and sports. If we are ready with the 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗓 phono, we will play. Yes, let's listen into that phone interview that I had a short while ago with 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗓. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗓 is a senior Wushu player of the Indian national team. Let's listen into what she had told me a short while ago.
मेरे साथ अभी है मिस 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗓, जो कि सीनियर नेशनल वुशु टीम, सीनियर इंडियन नेशनल वुशु टीम का एक प्लेयर है. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗓 इज जॉइनिंग मी फ्रॉम ईटानगर. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗓 जी, आपको मालूम है कि इंडियन कंटिंजेंट जो है, वुशु कंटिंजेंट, चाइना में होने वाले जो वर्ल्ड यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स उससे विथड्रॉ कर लिया, क्योंकि चाइना ने अरुणाचल का सिटीजन होने के नाते उनको स्टेपल वीसा दिया. ये इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने प्रोटेस्ट करके विथड्रॉ कर लिया. तो ये बहुत लोग का कहना है कि ये इंडिया के लिए ये अच्छा स्टेप है, क्योंकि अरुणाचल जो है एक इंडिया का एक इंटीग्रल पार्ट है और चाइनीज लोग नॉर्मल वीसा देना चाहिए ताकि प्लेयर्स लोग जाना सकता है. तो आपका क्या कहना है?
सर, मेरा इसमें तो यही कहना है कि जैसे चाइनीज लोग मानते हैं कि हम चाइना ही है, तो देन फिर हमें वीजा की क्या जरूरत है, राइट? चाइना लोग का यही कहना है कि जब अपना कंट्री में आ रहा है तो वीजा का क्या जरूरी है. तो हमारा यही कहना है कि स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग से लेके अभी तक हम इंडियन है, खुद को इंडियन ही मानते हैं और इंडियन ही मान के ही चलेंगे. तो चाइना के थ्रू से अगर रिप्रेजेंट करना हो तो ऑब्वियसली हम नो ही कहेंगे, क्योंकि तो चाइनीज तो नहीं है हम, तो विद प्रॉपर वीजा के साथ ही हम चलेंगे।
तो चाइनीज लोग अभी उनका पॉइंट स्कोर करने के लिए ये पॉलिटिक्स ही कर किया, क्योंकि इसको बहुत कंडेमनेशन हो रहा है सारा देश, अभी सारा भारत में ये चाइनीज जो स्टेपल वीजा दिया है, जिसका वजह से इंडियन यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स में हमारा जो नेशनल कंटिजेंट है वो विथड्रॉ करना पड़ा, इसका लेकर के निंदा कर रहा है। एवरीबॉडी इज क्रिटिसाइजिंग चाइना।
इसके बारे में तो अब हम क्या कहेगा सर, हम तो जस्ट स्पीचलेस है ये सबको देख के ना, एक तरफ से क्योंकि बहुत ही मेहनत करके आता है, तो जब हमारा कंट्री के लिए सच में जब कुछ करने का जब मौका आ जाता है, क्योंकि इतना सालों से जो है अपना कंट्री के लिए रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए बहुत मेहनत करते हैं स्पोर्ट पर्सन में, तो जब समय आने पर अपने जो टैलेंट है, अपने जो खूबियां है जो इंडिया की तरफ से जो दिखाना चाहते हैं, तो ऐसे समय में ऐसे वक्त में ये सब होना, ये तो स्पोर्ट पर्सन के लिए बहुत ही दुख की बात है। सच में हम तो स्पीचलेस है इसके बारे में, आप क्या भी बोलूं, ऐसा
लास्टली फाइनल क्वेश्चन, तो ये चाइना ने बार बार यही करते आए हैं। ये पहले भी कोई कराटे टीम को 2011 में कराटे टीम को भी उन लोगों ने स्टेपल वीसा दे करके दिया था, तो जिसका वजह से इंडियन टीम उस टाइम में भी जाने नहीं सका। तो ये चाइना का डेस्परेट एक्शन है, ये मतलब कोई फायदा नहीं है, अरुणाचल चाइना है बोल के कोई फायदा नहीं है, इंडिया ने जवाब देते आए हैं ऑलवेज।
यस, वो तो फ्रॉम द स्टार्टिंग से लेके इंडिया ने जैसे जैसे चाइना लोग हमारे अरुणाचल को वो लोग अपना चाइना अपने लोग मानते हैं, फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग से लेके इंडिया अभी भी उस चीज के लिए फाइट कर रहा है कि इंडिया जवाब दे ही रहे है कि अरुणाचल जो है इंडिया का एक पार्ट ही है, एक ब्लड ही है, जैसा एक बॉडी का जो पार्ट होता है ना, तो उसी तरह हमारे जो इंडियन कंट्री का हम अरुणाचल एक इंडिया का बॉडी पार्ट ही है, तो वहां से एक बॉडी पार्ट को दूसरा में कट के हम लोग नहीं दे सकता है।
Absolutely, Mimi Talang ji, thank you very much for talking to Northeast Live.
Thank you very much.
All right. We still have Mr. Ninong Ering, veteran Congress leader, joining us from Pasighat. We also have Mr. 𝗪𝗀𝗧𝗪𝗀𝗧𝗧, former Indian Air Force pilot, with us. Let me first go to Mr. 𝗪𝗀𝗧𝗪𝗀𝗧𝗪𝗀𝗧, Mr. 𝗪𝗀𝗧𝗪𝗀𝗧𝗪𝗀𝗧, this has become a very, very old trick which the Chinese have been using, basically without any success. Now Chinese wants to score just a brownie point even in the field of sports.
Absolutely. I first of all told with the Mr. Lodha, who spoke from 𝗃𝗏𝗏 and also the Wushu player, and this is a nice, excellent interview that you have done. And all of us are speaking in one way. We are telling China to lay off. And throughout this game, they keep playing with us by renaming our places and by having a lot of border skirmishes, by kidnapping our boys and like that. But I have to point out one thing to your channel, Northeast Live. You are the only channel that brings up the voices of the Northeast, people of the Northeast. Now, who better to tell China to lay off than the people of Arunachal themselves?
Absolutely.
This is hardly seen. This is hardly seen in the national media, very less seen. But kudos to Northeast Live for taking up this issue again and again and making the voices of Northeast and making the voices of Arunachal heard. I hope China gets the message. You know, when I was in National Defense Academy, I studied Chinese as a language because we have to study one foreign language.
Yes.
Their language is absolutely different from us. Their race is different, their culture is different, the tradition is different. I don't know from where they keep claiming Arunachal as part of China. That is why more voices from Northeast. We already have Bibing Nindong and our Bibing 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗃 speaking for us. We need more voices in the national media from Arunachal Pradesh to bring it home and to tell the Chinese lay off.
Absolutely.
And kudos to Northeast Live for bringing up this.
Thank you. Mr. Ninong Ering, you have heard Mr. 𝗪𝗀𝗧𝗪𝗀𝗧𝗪𝗀𝗧𝗪𝗀𝗧, as well as the players. We had Mimi Talang and we had the two gentlemen with us. We'll once again go to Itanagar to join them. Ninong Ering ji, actually, basically, China should lay off. That is the message coming from Arunachal Pradesh. Stop dreaming. That is the message coming from the Arunachalis.
Yes, Wasbir sir, good evening after a long time.
Good evening.
let me be very frank about this issue of China. We have always discussed this throughout my whole tenure as a member of parliament or even as a member in the Legislative Assembly. I've very strongly condemned the Chinese government and our counterpart, and I would request that the Indian government must give some very strong strictures to the Chinese embassy and tell them that a strong message must go. Of course, very proud of our government that they have withheld all the players going to China, just showing their support to the Indian contingent. Now you can see our children, their frustration, the emotions, their sentiments, how they have expressed themselves. I'm sure that the children of ours, like our young girl was saying, that we have been Indians, we will be Indians, and we'll always be with the Indians.
Absolutely.
So, but when we have this nationalistic feeling, I don't know why the government of India, I won't say it's the MK government or the UPA government, but all of us must fight together and try to prove to China and tell the Chinese government that there is nothing doing. Arunachal is part of China, and your claim on the Chinese and naming of towns or naming of villages is just it is not acceptable. We condemn it vehemently, and we will always condemn it. And I hope that this message to China that the Indians have very stood firm in boycotting is symbolically, like you have said, it is kind of a symbolic boycott to the Chinese government and to the Chinese that the Arunachal Pradesh is a integral part of India, and it will always remain so.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll now go to Itanagar to join our correspondent Marina, who has these two gentlemen with her still. And in the meantime, I would like to thank Dr. Mohanta Panging and Mr. Ninong Ering for joining this broadcast. The message coming from Arunachal to China is that lay off and stop dreaming about Arunachal being a part of China.